Hey guys, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. We are live today. There's gonna be a lot of that. Just a heads up. There's gonna be a lot of that. Before we get started, I really want to take a few minutes just to let's just chill. Let's people get let's wait for people to climb into the chat. There's just been so much going on this last week. Um, yesterday it was just kind of like I was reflecting back on the week and I was like, oh my God, it's almost like I've been in a beautiful washing machine. It's like how I would describe it. A lot of really beautiful blessings for sure. A lot of chaos, no sleep whatsoever. I literally had like 4 or 5 nights in a row where I was getting like an hour or two and then waking up the next day and feeling a little delirious. But again, beautiful. And I think that everyone was kind of experiencing that too last week, especially in terms of like big changes and blessings and like unexpected things happening out of nowhere. Whether people are perceiving it as positive or negative is totally totally perceptional based. Thank you, Keisha, for the $10. Thank you for all that you do. Well, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up. I do what I do, but it's nice to have the support of people who want to receive in that with me, who want to be in that with me. It means a lot. I know I've had so many ups and downs on this channel that a lot of you guys have been like bore witness to. You guys have gone through your own shit too, but yeah, just thank you. Just thank you for like helping me shape my experience and my journey to be what it's been. This upper chakra energy. I feel tired but can't sleep. Yeah, 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 yeah. What's today? Monday? I want to say it was like Saturday. I think Saturday was when I felt the most just like I need to sleep. So, I need sleep. I need it. I need sleep. And even last night, I early. I shut down early. I think I like decided to wind down at like 7:45, like something like that. I even like unplugged the electronics from the outlets just to not have like energy surging. I sat in quiet time, meditation, no music or anything, just quiet time, breath work, really trying to get my body calm. I drank a whole pot of chamomile tea. I got into bed. It was up till 3 in the morning. It was just like there's nothing I can do. I can do this late. Saturday was so heavy. Saturday was a rough day. I love chamomile. I was up hella late last night. LOL. Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons as to why that's happening. Again, there's so much I want to say to you guys. So, okay, let me back up. Let me like start with some important things and announcements and what have you. So, a couple changes. So, I have decided to start running talking circles virtually. In person is coming. My team was very clear to not do that yet. So I was like, okay. And my patrons already know. So I haven't made the changes on Patreon yet because I will be doing the virtual ones through Patreon, and maybe I'll also do some to the website. Haven't decided that yet, but I will be setting that up in the next couple days. So patrons, again, you already know it's coming. If you want to be a patron and you're interested in the talking circles, just give me time to actually update the information on Patreon first before you like dive in there. Excuse me. So that's a big thing. And I've decided that that's also going to take place, like in terms of the tiers anyway. Like it's going to replace the early access to the weeklies because I'm changing the weeklies. I want to do it more like this, where Mondays I go live and connect with you guys and we get into it, right? So no more early access if I'm doing it that way, right? And I thought it was just kind of nice to do. I think we're all feeling that pull to physically connect with other people. Well, I shouldn't say all, I shouldn't speak for everybody, but I think that's a big desire in the collective. Vesta Gemini, I think, is a huge part of that, but we're going to get into the astrology. I'm getting ahead of myself. So there's that. Like I said, give me a couple days to have it updated on Patreon, and I'll do an announcement too once it's done. And make sure you check the community tab for those announcements and social media. I am going to start posting more on social media. I've just made the conscious decision. So however that manifests physically will be what it is. But I've made the conscious choice, so I know it's going to happen. So there's that. The talking circles. I My patrons know I went on a little bit of a rant on the New Moon Pisces live a couple days ago, which is posted on Vimeo now. If you don't want to be a patron, you can go to Vimeo and check it out. But if you want to be a patron, it's there. That it ended up being a long live because like we actually did some we did a meditation, we had to clear some energy, we talked about the astrology, we pulled cards, and we hung out and we had fun. But honestly, your videos really relax me. Oh, good. I can't tell you how many times I fall asleep to your videos. Really? Oh, okay. Careful. I am a dream walker. If you fall asleep to my videos, I'll probably be popping up in your dreams. You'll probably be like calling me into your dream time space. Anyway, um, I was going on a rant. And I decided I'm going to make this an Island Turtle Talk episode because I think there's a lot of important stuff. And I might talk about it here because you guys know I love to talk. Is astrology real? I'm going to do an episode on this. I'm going to do an episode on this. And if y'all been with me for a while, you know I am an intuitive astrologer. Sam! Hi, Sam! Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're, like, feeling better. I know we talked a bit ago, but, like, yeah, I hope you're feeling good. Love the hair. Can totally vouch for her dream walking. Yeah, some people I show up a lot. I think people who I also, like, am meant to align with physically, like, when they see me here first, it's like I'm in their dreams a lot. Sam, I love you. Totally distracted me. Yeah, astrology. Is astrology real? Like I said, I'm gonna do a whole Island Turtle Talk episode on this because again, I think it's important, especially for what's going on right now. So just to briefly touch on that, because it also is going to, if you're new, it's also going to affect, I want to say, like how you watch my videos, especially when I am talking about astrology. And again, if you've been with me, you already know how I work. I'm a channeler. I'm a lot of things, but a channel is one of them. I'm a seer, got shamanic gifts. I've got a lot going on, okay? But when it comes to astrology, when it comes to anything, I'm going to say it that way. When it comes to anything, this is just my lens of my reality. This is my truth. This is how I see things. You do not have to ascribe to what my truth is. Please ascribe to your own truth. I feel like I say that every video. Please ascribe to your own truth no matter what you're coming across. It is nice to be open to people and then have yourself be open to new ideas and have that influence your path if it is meant for you. Absolutely, that's like a part of it. But no matter what I say, please honor your own truth here, okay? I am a full believer in we have free will. We have free will in every moment of our lives throughout time and space. And what creates our reality are our beliefs, our choices, our thoughts, our words, the people in them, the environments we're in, all that stuff. All of that has an effect on how we create our reality and what we will and are experiencing. Okay? And that shifts constantly because there's infinite ways all of that can pan out. And then, of course, when you're talking collective experience, that to me is almost like there's like a baseline where all of our choices are kind of like co-creating an average of those energies and choices into the reality that we experience. So it's always changing, it's always shifting. When it comes to messages that you guys get through readings, through me, through whoever, through yourself even, or you're looking at astrology to help kind of determine or gauge or guide yourself on, ooh, how should I navigate this? And should I wait to make that choice? And, oh, the astrocartography says I go here, like, you know, all of that stuff. The stars, the planets, yes, they are codes. They are physical manifestations of codes because they literally are these physical bodies that are representing the swirl of energy of the universe, okay? Which really is just how the energy is moving in the universe. So yes, they are codes, and we can use those codes to try to gauge, try to guide, etc. But it's all just energy, okay? It's all just energy, which again, how you feel into energy is also based off of your own personal decisions and perspectives and all of that, okay? Okay? So when it comes to astrology, I'm going to give you my best 2 cents on things, And for those of you guys who've been with me for a while, when I talk about it, I try to give you a very broad range of how these different things can manifest in your life or how you can utilize this energy to your advantage. But how you do that is completely up to you and your unique reality that you are creating. So while one person can be having a very positive experience under the same astrology influences, one person can have a really bad experience because it's all free will. Because it's all free will. Okay? Because it's all free will. Now, the other aspect to that, there's a lot of people really exercising their voices right now, which is good. That's good. We need that. And that's also just where we're at collectively. Like anybody who's purchased my 2024 astrology poster, which by the way, links are below. And if you want the Sister Moon calendar created by Ashley Jagmohan, who I did an episode with her, you guys already saw, that's also linked below. So if you guys are curious about that, they do go really well hand in hand. Anyway, got totally like pulled away from me for a second. So if you have that poster and you've like been with me for a while, you guys know I've been talking about how January to April is this time of like rising energy and liberating the voice and liberating who we really are and really putting our truths out there. But we're also going to move in May into January. Jesus, I'm tired. Into May with Jupiter Gemini. The incense is like going crazy as I'm talking about this. So we're moving into the space of just infinite fractals are really amplified and in our faces, right? Nice noise coming in. I live in the desert. They don't need a leaf blower out here. There's no leaves. I don't know what they're blowing. Anyway, so as we move into these infinite fractals of truth and our awareness of that is becoming really amplified and people are getting into these deeper truths within themselves and they're exercising their voices, there's a lot being thrown out into the sphere. There's a lot being thrown out at people as far as what the truth is and this is wrong and this is bad and da 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 da. When it comes down to it, I don't think we should attach to any stories. This is just how I feel. I'm not saying it's absolute truth. It's just how I feel. I don't think we should attach it to any extreme stories, especially. And I think that, how do I want to say this? I just got pulled to Mercury retrograde, but I'm going to talk about that in this video because it's important for this week. But coming back, when we attach to stories, we really do limit our realities. Now, if you're attaching, to a story and it's something that makes you really happy and it's bringing really good things to your life, do what you want to do. Just be mindful about forcing it on people. Just be mindful about being so absolute and sure about things because the reality is we can never be absolutely sure about everything because everything's always changing. And it's also, I think, arrogant to imply that we could understand everything, right? And you'll also notice too that there are a lot of astrologers saying very drastically different things with all these fractals of truth. I guess I made this the Island Turtle Talk episode. I'm gonna have to remember how I said all this. Anyway, I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, and I'm talking about it. Typical. With all these fractals of truth, we are also going through this major divergence where because people are ascribing and attaching to these like very amplified fractals of truth, like they're creating realities out of that, right? And so people are going with them, people are not, some people aren't, and you've probably been experiencing that, you've probably been seeing that, you've probably been witnessing that. So just know it's par for the course. So yes, people are saying very drastically different things right now because the divergence is so strong and so real. Okay, so just know that about where we're at right now, and just be very clear about this. Just be very clear about you. Be very clear about what your truth is. Again, I'm not saying don't be influenced. Like, stay open because we are in a period where things are changing drastically, and we could, and if we allow ourselves to be open and receptive to things, it could lead to really beautiful things. But we need our own discernment and truth to even gauge and compass that and navigate that, right? So, as we get into talking about this astrology, let's see, I take a little from here, from there, what I feel resonates with me in my energy. Yeah. Dealing with people who attach us to negative stories so hard. There's a lot of fear going on right now. There's a lot of fear mongering. And it's like even YouTube like throws weird videos at me and I'm like, why are they throwing that at me? Like, not interested. Anyway, so as I get into talking about this astrology, again, this is just from my lens and I'm going to try to be as broad with it as I can to help as many people as I can to navigate some of this stuff. And then we're going to go ahead and get into some channelings, messages, all that good stuff. So I feel like there's something else I wanted to mention. Guys, I'm so tired. I'm I'm so tired. And I know if I try to sleep, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. As she said before in another video, center. Yeah, center is really important. The notion of center is important. Even the vibration of the word center, I think, is very, very important. Um, and some people use it here and there, but I mean, for again, this is in my reality. My team has made it so clear on how important center is. Center, I mean, even think of like the spiral. The spiral that represents literally the flow of all things, right? All things. Even that comes to a center. If you can manage to sit as centered as you possibly, and this is feminine wisdom. I might talk about this in the video too. And if you can sit as centered as you can, think of the medicine wheel. Sit in the center of the medicine wheel, right? It's like that's where you can find, I would say, the most ease, the most ease, the most harmony with your personal balance, and also feeling like you are truly in flow with things. Okay. So many things I wanted to say there. It's a whole other video. So this was a long prelude, but let's get into talking about the week. And I will do timestamps too. Are we doing astrology first? Yeah, we are gonna do astrology first. Just put it at 16 minutes. I feel like I had another announcement all of a sudden. Anyway, all right, so let's get into it. So we just had the new moon Pisces. For those who didn't catch my new moon Pisces video on Patreon or Vimeo, I'm not gonna say go and like watch it because like if if you're not inclined to, it's okay. But this has been a very important new moon and we're still in it. And again, all kinds of different interpretations. I would say the most significant thing about this new moon Pisces is a sextile between two conjunctions. Arguably the most important, not even like the new moon itself. But when we have new moons and full moons, the energy is kind of amplified, right, of all of the aspects. Chiron conjunct the North Node. We've been in this for a while, and this actually ties into Mercury retrograde, and I will get into that too. I think I'm just gonna free flow today. I've got all these notes, and I used to go like section by section. I can't. My brain's too tired for that. I think I'm just in a really feminine state. I'm just kind of flowy. Anyway, Chiron conjunct the North Node in Aries. We've been in this for a while. I think it started at the end of December, but we've definitely been in it for all of 2024, and we've all felt it, man. It's like this last winter was very much about shedding, and this freaking noise. Chiron conjunct the North Node in Aries is brought about this looking in the mirror as far as what has really held us back from making certain steps or being certain versions of ourselves, speaking up or taking certain actions. And it really allowed for this very deep, very, very deep, for some primordial, some ancestral, some past life like, again, whatever words you want to ascribe to it for your own personal process. But it has been a liberation through a major death process and shadow work. And again, really, really looking in the mirror. A lot of masculine energy is involved in that too. We've gone through a lot of solar stuff, solar plexus stuff. I mean, a lot of, I don't want to say healing the masculine. I feel like we've heard that so many freaking times. And we go through waves of this because, again, spiral, everything's a spiral. Nothing is linear. History repeats itself for a reason. Spiral. Anyway, getting off track. So we've been going through this. Now, on the new moon, we also had Mars and Aquarius conjunct Chariklo. So you have Chiron working with the North Node in Aries and Chariklo working with Mars and Aquarius. And they were sextiling. These two conjunctions were sextiling, meaning unlocking, opening doors, opportunities. Here's what I thought was so beautiful about that. And I don't know if other astrologers talked about this because I've also been very, like, my team's been keeping me very insulated. But Chiron and Chariklo are counterparts. Chiron is wounded healer, wounded warrior. Chariklo is the medicine woman. And here they are bridging with each other through the North Node, by the way, and Mars. So again, that masculine energy that we've all been kind of going through this whole transmutation, whatever word you want to call it. And the word I was getting when I was tuning in was exaltation. The exalted feminine, the exalted masculine, the exalted reality, the exalted self. This new moon has been giving us a window to basically quantum leap, essentially. That's how it was being given to me. Now, that is a window of opportunity. Will some people do it, some people not? Y'all know how it goes. Okay. Yes, you've discussed that they are related. Yeah, they're counterparts. They're counterparts. And And when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's like makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. Um, and we still are under the influence of that energy. But what does that mean as far as like how do we become exalted? And it's interesting that my guides were using that word specifically. And I think it's because there's been so many words that have been overused that they keep trying to give me new words to like break through everyone's programming, right? Because like when we hear a word enough, we have such deeply embedded associations with it that we almost can't even connect to the meaning of the word anymore or the true like energy behind it. So I think that's why they were giving me the word exalted versus like ascension and etc. I mean, words are going to shift a lot this year just because Jupiter Gemini, but I digress. So holding center, holding center, holding center. I got a pretty strong download, I want to say 2, 3 weeks ago. Time is so weird. Sometime like 2, 3 weeks ago. I'm not going to go on the full download, but how do I talk about this? It's harmonizing, right? It's like if you take the polarity of anything, masculine, feminine, light, dark, anywhere in between, if you harmonize, you're coming to the center. You're coming to the center, you're harmonizing. And when you can harmonize like that, think at the center of the spiral, right? You can unlock, you can jump, you can leap. And this is minor and majorly, right? It's like, I think that's also how we astral. I think that's also how we traverse time and space. We just know how to harmonize and center, and then we can do that. So anyway, so that was very much in my face when I looked at the new moon Pisces, and I did talk about it on the live. Now, this whole Chiron North Node energy, like I said, we're still in it, but here's what's really cool about this week. We're entering a major shift here. And that has also more to do with Mercury retrograde and also spring equinox. So spring equinox is coming up next week. But Mercury in Aries is now starting to work this week with Chiron in the North Node. Chiron will eventually surpass the North Node very soon in the midst of this shift, but Mercury is going to go along with it because Mercury is also going to retrograde on April 1st. So I'm going to say that again. Mercury in Aries is like moving through Aries, and now it's catching up to North Node and Chiron. But North Node is like moving right closer to like 0 degrees Aries. That's where the North Node is moving. It's just like how we measure it in astrology. And Chiron's continuing to move this way. And since Mercury is now entering its pre-shadow for the retrograde, again, starting on April 1st, and I believe that concludes April 25th, not counting the post-shadow, it's basically like ushering us into this next phase of what the Chiron North Node conjunction brought us, okay? And since Mercury will be retrograding throughout April, that conjunction of Mercury and Chiron will be present from now until the end of May with the way that it works in the pre-shadow and post-shadow. So all of spring will be highlighted by Mercury conjunct Chiron and Mercury going retrograde in Aries. Okay? Now, Mercury joining the party is going to be kind of cool because we've been having this like liberated voice, liberated voice, liberated voice. This is just going to amplify it because it's taking what we have reflected on and learned and shed in the last, I want to say 4 months. So it's come out that way for a reason. In the last 4 months, really during like the season of winter, and we're now able to speak on it. We're now able to actually use our personal experience to do whatever it is we want to do. Okay. It's also going to bring a much more assertive sort of energy as well. There's gonna be a lot of like boundary setting too. Don't be surprised if people get a little overly zealous in this Mercury energy. There's going to be some growing pains too. That was something that was made very clear to me when I looked at the retrograde phase, again, mostly through April, but the pre and post is March and May, okay? And again, May 23rd is a major shift day, so that's going to usher us into May 23rd and this next big shift of Jupiter going into Gemini, and more of that fractalization of truth is happening. So let's come back for a second. There's going to be a little bit of growing pains with this Mercury retrograde because it's like it's having a new set of pipes. Essentially, it's having a new set of pipes and being able to speak from a place within ourselves that we haven't been able to assert ourselves in a way we haven't been able to. But it's like finding our sea legs with it, like a little baby giraffe. So there might be a lot of overly zealous, like bleh, to, oh, this is really how I should be doing. like, oh, okay, let's like backtrack a little bit and like harmonize it this way. So don't be surprised if that happens. It's not gonna happen for everybody, but I felt that that was made clear to me that that might be pretty prominent in the collective. Okay. Something coming back to this week about this Mercury Chiron North Node Aries conjunction. The moon is in Aries right now. Okay. And it's going to shift out of Aries depending on where you are in the world, like Tuesday, Wednesday. That is also going to amplify currently like how we are using our voices, and there's an emotional component with that, like things that we feel emotionally stirred about right now, which we already feel pretty emotionally stirred from the new moon Pisces. We're gonna feel that like impulse to just bleh. Not bad, it's not a bad thing. Truth is truth, just is what it is, right? Some more than others. So that's the important thing about this week and the coming shifts that are going on between now and the end of May. And of course, in the midst of that, we have the Libra eclipse. April, we have the Aries eclipse right after Mercury goes retrograde. And then we hit May. Mercury will be going stationary direct. It'll still be in its post shadow, still working with Chiron. And then we hit that major shift on May 23rd. Okay. All of this is on the astrology calendar, by the way. Okay. Moving on. Oh. So just a little tangent for those who don't know. I've had a lot of upper chakra energy going on the last few days. I've had energy slowly working up through my system. And since my surgery was like very sacral root. And then I was there for a long time. And then the solar came, and then the heart came. And then I was like, oh, it's a matter of time. And then it hit me out of nowhere. I was like, I was going from dealing with like heart palpitation stuff from this like heart activation to suddenly like choking. And I was like, okay, surrender to the process. Anyway, so just bear with me with that. Another interesting thing about this week that I like is this dance of Mars and Venus. Okay. So leading up to the new moon and even on the new moon, Mars has been very active. Very, very active. How's Clyde? He's good. He's sleeping. He's sleeping next to me. He's been doing a lot better. I've been changing his food, and I'm trying to get to the point where I just like cook all his food as opposed to buying it. I mean, you still gotta buy the ingredients. I tried that a few years ago and he was not having it. He was like, nope. He's like, I'd rather starve. So I'm making this shift very slowly for him, but already it's making a huge difference. Um, but anyway, so Mars and Venus. So Mars has been very active. And so you probably have noticed in the last week that for some of you, you potentially could have had some major mood swings, maybe some anger, maybe some sadness, maybe some restless energy, maybe feeling of like, wanting to just get people out of your way because it's like Mars Aquarius, very outspoken, has been square Uranus, which is still present this week. But Mars was very, very active under the new moon as well. Okay. Not in a bad way, just is what it is. And like I said, it's like we have already been trying to center and balance our own masculine energy to be exalted, right? And peaking at this period of time. But now Venus is really active this week and in a really beautiful way. Venus is in Pisces, conjunct Saturn, which is really nice. And that's going to be increasing more towards the end of the week. This is the kind of the shift we're going to be experiencing this week of we've been so focused on how to assert ourselves and how to speak up for ourselves and what does it mean to be accountable and have integrity and take action in the way we need to and be decisive. All the while, feminine energy, I think, has also been very loud, but in a very feminine way, like very palpable. This like how do I want to say? And again, you could be experiencing this differently, but I feel like feminine energy has been like incubating energy, which I guess is what you would even do, like, right? Like in pregnancy, it's like life is incubating. The intensity of feminine energy is incubating. And now I feel like feminine energy can really, it's already been flourishing, but I feel like this is the next window of the next level of being able to flourish. Because when we are really healthy in our own masculine energy, our ability to take action, when we can take action and we can be disciplined about that action, we can be intentional about that action, feminine energy can be at its highest. This is also why this bridging of exalted feminine masculine is so beautiful and so important, right? And that's so this is just the shift I'm talking about. But Venus working with Saturn in Pisces, that I was getting so much heart-centered energy off of that, just very heart-centered, authentic, like wanting to commit, wanting to be devoted to certain things, whether that's spiritual practices or relationships or whatever, what have you. It's very heart-centered, it's very soul-centered, right? Commitments, investments, that sort of deal. And then here's what was weird. So as I was getting into my notes, I saw a lion. And I was like, we don't got Leo energy right now. Um, and they said the lioness. And I meant to check on Leona to see what she was doing. Forgot. Look at it on your own time. Um, and that's what Spirit was telling me. That's what my team was telling me. It's like the lioness is now like ready to protect the pride and like ready to like protect like future cubs. So there's a lot of generational stuff going on right now that also is supported by some of the astrology. Okay. Jupiter and Ceres and Juno are all in a grand trine like today, actually. So what that means is it's a grand earth trine. They're all in Taurus, Cappy, Virgo, all in the earth signs, all being lit up by Jupiter, Ceres, and Juno. Juno is protection of women. Juno is all about partnership. Ceres is all about nourishment, self-care, sustainability, resources. Jupiter is, Jupiter. Jupiter is benefic. It expands. It gives growth. It gives blessings. It gives opportunity. We love Jupiter. And when I tuned into this, and I talked about this on the New Moon Live as well, this to me feels like focus on how to really be accountable to long-term seeding. And seeding, seeding. Okay. Jupiter sextile Saturn is also present. We've had that for a while, and that also supports rewards for long-term seeding and investments. Okay. But what I kept getting with this was generational. And it was really coming from Ceres Cappy that I was feeling that. So when I'm doing astrology, I'm also like, I'm tuning into these different celestial bodies, and I've established my own relationships with these celestial bodies. I know that sounds, it's just my truth. It is what it is. Okay. But Ceres and Cappy, it's like, it was this feeling of reflecting on what we have inherited, what we have to work with now, and what we can provide for generations to come. That's what I was getting. So again, some of you may be going through a lot of ancestral things, whether that's shadow work or you're just reflecting and making certain choices. Some of you could be looking at your current situation and being like, what am I really seeding for the long term for myself, for other people, for my kids, that sort of deal, for the collective, if some of you guys are on that kind of mindset. But this was like that lioness energy that I was feeling so strongly. Technically, I just realized in Vedic Juno is probably in Leo. So that could also be part of that like lioness energy that I'm feeling. And yes, I do study different astrology disciplines. I think it's important to not just study one. But anyway, so there's that. There is that. And that is very prominent this week. Okay. Very prominent this week. And my earth signs are really going to feel that the most. Lilith is also conjunct Orcus, and that will continue, and then Jupiter is going to join them throughout the week. And that's also amplifying that, like, how do we seed with integrity? How do we almost like hold the container to nourish the right things? Whether that's individually or collectively, right? So like on an individual level, you could be just like really going through like your checks and balances of, is this healthy for me? Do I feel better when I eat this food, or when I go to that place, or when I'm with that person? And is my routine really supporting my goals? Like, it could even be some of that stuff, right? Um, yeah. So I just think that's beautiful, to be honest. Action is key. I talked about that a little bit, but just to kind of like re-emphasize that, that was something that came through as a channeling. That right now there might be this temptation to sit, especially with this like Pisces energy that we have, because also the Sun and Neptune are both in Pisces, especially towards the end of the week, they get really strong, and they're going to be sextile Pluto, which is great. That's going to bring some really unique experiences that help us go through even more shifts and changes. It's also an unlocking that's happening too, and like really amplified intuition. Beautiful. But I feel like there might be a temptation to sit, like a temptation to just keep kind of mulling about things, almost like we've been in that very strong, like reflective feminine while we've been working on our masculine. And now it's like masculine's ready to like, let's actually get this shit in place, and let's make sure we have all the containers right, so the feminine can do what we want to do, right? This is all within. I'm not speaking just in relationships. This is all within. Yeah, there might be a temptation to keep sitting in that like contemplative feminine. but action is key. Action is definitely key right now. And there may be some influences that might make you feel like it's a little harder than you expected it to be, but the more action you take, the better you're going to feel. Like the more emotional security you're actually going to feel. We're going to end the week with moon with the moon being in Cancer. Again, really like bringing forth like, hey, we need like emotional security. We need to like feel okay. Taking action is going to alleviate that the most. Okay? Um and trust yourself that you're ready to do that. That just came through. Trust yourself that you're actually ready to do that. Put the things in place that need to be put in place, because the clarity is also, sorry, okay, so this is just pure channelings now. We're kind of done with the astrology. We've had a lot of clarity bestowed upon us. This new moon Pisces did give us clarity. Every single moon cycle we've had, while we have been in this feeling of like Seven of Cups since January, like there's so much vague ambiguity of what's going to happen and what's going on and what I should do and all these things, like so many moving pieces of possibilities, right? Sorry, that one comment totally distracted me. So many realms of possibilities. Every single moon cycle has been giving us a little gift of clarity. And this last new moon gave us a lot. Okay? So trust that you're ready. Trust that you're ready. Trust that you have the pieces that you've been wanting. I'm not going to say need. Trust that you have the pieces you've been wanting. Okay? And that you are ready to put some very concrete things in place. And it will help you to feel more secure. Okay? As we move into official spring equinox, and this whole Mercury conjunct Chiron phase, and the Mercury retrograde that's coming with it. Okay. Saturn in Pisces does seem like a test of faith. That's definitely a lens of looking at it. That's a way of looking at it. Yeah, Saturn in Pisces, I think, can bring some energies of sacrifice, like wanting us to sacrifice, wanting us to really go within, and wanting us to really look at things. There's a lot of different lenses that come with Saturn Pisces. Okay. But yeah, I think that's one of them. All right, so that's the astrology. Take a little sippy sip. Also, Alyssa, I appreciate the supportive, like, stay within myself kind of thing. But I also, that just kind of distracted me and also pulled me out of like my channeling that I need to stay in. So while I appreciate that, like, you're trying to like look out for me, it actually did the opposite, and it pulled me out when I wasn't ready to be pulled out. So, just something to be aware of. Uh, I just took a huge breath with Mercury retrograde. It's not gonna be bad. I don't again, it's a lens. Um yeah, it's a lens. Mm. Trust yourself that you're ready. I need to hear that. Yeah. Trusting ourselves is also huge as far as like not just on an intuition level, but believing in ourselves. That's also part of Chiron Aries and Mercury Aries. It's believing in ourselves. And I don't think Mercury retrograde is gonna be bad. I really don't. The breath out was great. I love this live is fun. Oh, good, good. So I'm gonna be using this time to take a break from working. Good. It's funny because I want to do this in the morning, and again, the no sleep. I was so not in the right energy to do that this morning. Um, yeah, and so I figured like, oh look, it's happening at lunchtime for some people. Parenting the self, Mercury retrogrades happen too often to be afraid of. Yeah. Oh well, thank you. Thank you for the compliments. Okay. I'm just gonna give myself a minute to just get back in my channel. That is one thing about like comments. It's like I love that we can like chat and hang out. It's just, I don't want to get pulled out too much. Showing me the stars. I love when they do that. I'm hearing the word wonder. A little off subject, but I was wondering what island turtle is. Oh, it was the name that a mentor gave to me during ceremony. Um, so there. It was a name that my mentor channeled for me and gave to me during ceremony. Not sleeping, just listening. Yeah. I'm also feeling this too for some for this week that there might be this the wonder, the wonder, the wonder, the wonder. Mm. The wonder, the wonder, the wonder. Almost like this recall to like more magical experiences, maybe really magical memories. I feel a little bit of 2019 energy there. So you guys might be reflecting back to 2019. Um, I feel like for that, for whoever that's going to be coming up for, I feel like there might have been some experiences that like happened while you were experiencing very magical things that maybe made you almost closed off to it actually, and there's a remembrance of the wonder of magic. I must not be the only one who's not sleeping. Oh yeah, none of us would be sleeping. None of us sleeping. I recently saw the constellation of Cancer. I never did that before. I wasn't sure which zodiac it was. Do you have any thoughts on how to work with these energies in terms of food and sustenance? Well, a lot of what we got going on right now, especially with like all that Virgo and like all that grand trine of like how are we really taking care of ourselves now and for the future. Health it could be a big part of that for some people. Virgo also rules health, generally speaking. So again, coming up in different ways for different people. But as far as food goes, I think you really need to go about that intuitively. Just speaking honestly, because everybody has different needs given their genetics, given their body type, given, if they're going through really spiritual things or not, or really heavy duty things or not. That is something that intuitively you need to kind of navigate within yourself. Feels like an energy of the world before, like everything that was changed from the pandemic. 2019 shifted everything for me and opened portals I wasn't ready for. So I had to learn how to close them. I'm starting to feel ready to revisit them. And yeah, interesting. Yeah. 2019 was ouchies. But in 2024, I'm really gaining insight into those lesson moments. I hope it's the same for all. Yeah. Don't Virgo placements tend to have gut issues? Can't remember. Um, Taurus I find people who have strong Taurus placements, they tend to have a lot of influence over the gut and over the digestive system. It's like if I can talk. I have seen that with Virgos too. But I've seen that a lot with Taurians. I've seen that a lot with Taurians. Um, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. So glad you mentioned loss of good sleep. I thought I was going cray cray. Nope, you're not. You are not. Looking at 2019 to now taught me my resilience. Oh, I like that. So it's kind of nice. It's like you guys are like already doing your own reflection on all that. All right. I think we're ready for some cards. I think we're definitely ready. I'm so tempted to use Big Bertha. Let's do it. I love me some Big Bertha. So for those who don't know who Big Bertha is, she is a combo deck of the Starseed Oracle and the Angels and Ancestors deck. And she's been around for a long time, and we love her. So, timestamp that. Reads. Wow, I've been on here for 43 minutes. That goes really fast. Okay. I bought Dreams of Gaia because of you. That's a beautiful deck, too. I'm a Virgo rising and I have gut issues. Like I also said, too, there's been a lot of solar plexus stuff going on. Like the last month or so, a lot. And some people have been working through it faster than others, but everyone's in a different spot with it. But there has been a lot of solar plexus activity, especially as we have also been like dealing with this whole masculine within self kind of thing. So thank you for your channel. Thank you. Any messages or insights for this week for the collective? So something that came up in the new in Pisces when I did my notes, they showed me the Knight of Swords, and they're showing it to me now. I'm not using a deck that has a Knight of Swords, but I'm just, felt the need to share. Again, especially as Mercury joins Chiron. Because, yeah, okay, they're stopping me. They want to keep me to keep talking about Mercury with Chiron. There's so many ways that can manifest in your life, or how you can feel that, experience that within yourself and without, in terms of other relationships. Some people might really struggle because some people might feel really easily triggered and feel like they can't like contain it, like they can't keep it to themselves. Other people might find a liberation in it, especially those who've done a lot of work on themselves, might find that finally they can articulate their needs and their emotions in a way that they couldn't before. So again, very different spectrum depending on where people are at. But that's something that they just wanted me to like touch on again really quick. The Knight of Swords. Any messages or insights? Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? I knew that card was going to come up. I was feeling Mars and I was like, do I say it? And it came out before I could even consider like really throwing it out of my mouth. The Great Severing. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So like I said, Mars has been very active this last week, and now Mars is starting to actually work with Vesta, which Venus was working with Vesta for quite a while last week. So kind of like switching places while Venus is moving into Pisces, and we're wanting to really exercise our feminine more, which means we need to be able to exercise our masculine to hold our containers and make decisions and keep ourselves on track so we can be more in our feminine. But Mars has been square Uranus. Okay, that's like the biggest thing with Mars. And Mars again has also been working with Cheroklo in that sextile, right? Bridging Cheroklo and Chiron. But the Great Severing is exactly how it sounds. It's wanting to take very decisive action to really cut away certain things that do not nourish us. So that's very much in line with the energy that I've already talked about with this week. But I feel like Venus and Pisces, especially as it works with Saturn, is really wanting us to stay very soft about it though. Like do it with, said articulate, interesting. Do it in a way where you can articulate yourself, without letting your emotions overpower you or take over you. Hold on a second. Thank you. Do it with compassion, do it with wisdom, do it with discernment. Like I want it, like, and anger might come up, and anger is okay. It's okay to be angry. We are human. But yeah, there's like a be mindful. Like a be mindful about this and be decisive about it, but just be mindful about how you go about that. And people might also fall out of your reality too. Things might fall out of your reality without you even trying to, especially when we get into the eclipse energies. Oh. Hold on, card vomit. Okay. Wow. Well, there's the divine masculine. So we have the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. So Piscean. Look at the spiral. So Piscean coming in there. I feel like that's literally Venus Pisces. The high priest, which in this deck is the divine masculine principle, intend and create. We have mirror guardian, take time to reflect, be mindful. Lost lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Have the confidence is what I'm actually getting with that. Have the confidence that you have the knowing. Have the confidence that you have the knowing. They want me to talk about Vesta for a little bit. So Vesta in Gemini has been active because of Venus was working with it, and now Mars is working with it. For those who are not familiar with Vesta, Vesta is the sacred flame. She represents the sacred flame. When I have like tuned into her and have worked with her, I feel like she very much represents blueprint, like where we can find our sense of fulfillment, where we can find passion in life, which really is just an expression of what we're doing that makes our souls happy, right? Which to me is basically blueprint. However that comes through and however that evolves over time. Vesta's been in Gemini. And I've spoken about this too. When Vesta's in Gemini, she gets a little finicky. Like Vesta really loves Taurus, right? Because Taurus is all about like, let's nest, let's get the resources, let's get what we need to really like just to like have everything comfortable, have everything feel good, so we can do what we want and what we need, right? That's Taurus, and Vesta loves that because then Vesta can flourish in her sacred flame. In Gemini, Vesta wants to be everywhere. In Gemini, Vesta wants to like try this, but wait, what about that? But wait, what about this? And what about that? I want to talk to this person. I want to be out here doing that thing. I want to learn this. Maybe I need to share this. Like Vesta gets a little scattered in Gemini, but that is also where we've been. And that's what I'm feeling here with the lost lands. It's information. Let's see. How do you find flame and home with other people? LOL. Within yourself first. Just calling a spade a spade. You got to find it here first, and then you can just coexist with other people while you're in that state within you. Do I really want to hold on? Okay, let me backtrack here, because I also don't want to speak so absolute about things. In my present journey, I am finding that once you have that here, it almost doesn't like matter if like, how do I want to say it? No, I shouldn't say it that way. Find it here first. Find it here first. Because when people come in and out of your reality, you can be in that energy when you're coexisting with them, but it's not dependent on them. Right? I think that's the best way to say that. All right, let's come back to Vesta Gemini. I am getting information though with Vesta here in the Lost Lands. And yeah, it could actually be like memories coming through, but I feel like it's more about like turning into your own wisdom, like literally turning into your own truth and your own gifts, because we all have innate wisdom. We just have to remember how to listen to it. We just have to remember how to tune into it. And that's really what I'm getting here with Mirror Guardian and Lost Lands. It's like recovering what you always knew. Yeah. Recovering what you always knew, what you always could do. That was always there, was never taken from you. It was always there. It was always there. And again, the masculine energy working really well with that Venusian, feminine, Piscean energy. Again, intentional actions so that we can flourish from here, right? What do you need in your life? What people in your life help you to really nourish your heart, nourish yourself, nourish your wants, your desires? And then can you make the actions and boundaries and cuttings and investments to keep this flourishing, right? That's what this week is about. And remember, we started with the severing. All right. Any other messages or insights for the collective this week? Oh, I love this card, Star Brothers. We have Horus energy coming out here. Some of you could really resonate with Horus. Protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Holding the safety safe. Holding the safety safe. This is about masculine influence and energy that helps to hold the safety safe. Now, when I say masculine, I mean literally just the action, protective, grounding force, energy that we can be in for ourselves and that other people can offer us and even guides can offer us. So don't get stuck on like masculine being men. So try not to get too attached to that. Yeah, so try not to get too attached to that. But I love this coming in here. It's really loving too. I feel like more Piscean energy through here. I feel a lot of compassion. I feel a lot of softness. I feel a lot of they say compassion, and gentility. But this is about you doing it for you. Now you might find that as you start doing this for yourself, obviously other people might mirror that back to you, which is beautiful too. But I love that. Any other messages or insights for the collective this week? Clyde's being so cute. Cats are just so cute. It's so not fair. It's like they don't have to do anything. Like he literally could just be sleeping and I could stare at him for like well, not an hour, but like maybe 20, 30 minutes. Anyway, the 7-star sisters, a lot of Pleiades energy that could be coming up for you as well. Birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. Literally, we keep seeing this, right? Masculine, feminine, brothers, sisters. Some of you may be on the timeline or reality where there is community forming right before your eyes, where there are brothers and sisters and you guys are in it together doing whatever you're doing. Maybe you're just being happy. Maybe you're just grabbing coffee and, I don't know, holding ceremony or going for hikes or going to the beach or going on road trips or having potlucks. Like, it could be just as simple as that. Like, our whole life doesn't have to be super, super spiritual. Although, I don't know if I'd want it to not to be. We're still human and we still have to have like a human existence. But some of you, it can be as grand as that too, where maybe you're finding people that you can sit in spiritual space with and have telepathy with and share in magic with. Like, I love the feeling of this. Literally brothers and sisters together. That feels so good. But again, it's within and then it, is experienced without. I want a cat so bad. Get a cat! What's stopping you? Get a cat! Get a cat! Time to feel at home with others. Cats can be like shamans. Oh, Clyde is totally a shaman. It's funny too, because like when people meet him, no matter where they're at on the spectrum of like, awareness, I think is a good word for that, awareness and presence, no matter where they are on the spectrum of that, they see him and they go, he looks human. They're like, he's not a normal cat. It's like, no, he's not a normal cat. He's like the best cat ever. Yeah, I love him so much. Like, he's been with me for so long, you guys. Like, and I know for people who've been around, but the new people, I adopted him 8 years ago in March, by the way. And actually, in March is his birthday. He's 12 now. He's 12. He's 12. I adopted him 8 years ago. Like, and I remember what was going on in my life at the time because it was when I was at like the bottom of my dark night. Like the rock bottom of my dark night, and literally my mom was like, you need a cat. I was like, I think I do need a cat. And he was totally waiting for me. Like, I know we have a contract, and actually the contract has been fulfilled. So he gets to hang around as long as he wants to, pretty much. But I could not have gotten through the last 8 years without him. There's no question. Like, he totally saved me. He totally got me through all the weirdness, all the crazy, all the hard struggle-ness of the dark night and everything that comes with this journey. And he's been my only constant. He's been my only constant in the last 8 years. It's like, oh, it's getting me emotional just thinking about it. Let's not go there because I'm going to cry. We have contracts with animals as well. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's an agreement. It's an agreement. And I think those contracts can be made in the moment, right? Like if a cat's like, I want to adopt you, because any cat people know, like cats adopt you for the most part, especially stray cats. If they just keep showing up and you're like, where is your home? With you, with you now. But yeah, I think they can be made in the moment. Me and Clyde, this was not made in the moment. This was so not made in the moment. I know I'm talking about you. He knows. He's just like, like with Clyde, and there's like a lot that I still don't know, but from what I like have intuited and connected with, he has been a guide of mine before, and he doesn't come here a lot. Is basically the vibe that I got. He doesn't come to Earth a lot. But this was important. This was important because like really speaking truly and honestly, I could not have gotten through the last 8 years without him. Lord only knows where I would be if he was not a part of my life. And I know he's a cat, but I mean, anybody who's been through a dark night, you guys know. You guys know how crazy it can get. You guys know how sometimes scary it can get, let alone unpredictable. But yeah. Animals are angels. I had a total soul contract with my cat. Oh, I believe it. Oh, I totally believe it. Totally believe it. Totally, he's special. He is special. I want him to be around forever, but I know that's not possible. Anyway, I'm trying to like, the way I'm talking about my cat. I was about to say, I'm trying to get him to stick around for a few more years. But I know he's going to go when he wants. So I'm just appreciating the time I have with him. Anyway, the crazy tangent. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards. These were all really beautiful. Oh, he totally distracted me. I didn't even go in the overall energy. We have courageous peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. A lot of that Aries, individual, liberated self, unique self. Chericlo and Mars in Aquarius are also helping with that because Chericlo, again, medicine woman. I love Chericlo. She always feels so good when I tune into her. She feels very like medicine mama bear, like when I tune into her. And she also, is about music and magic and sound healing. And well, Chiron has historically been seen as this is where your wounds are. This is also why they make great counterparts because while Chiron emphasizes that, it's not all about the wounds, right? Because they're all, like, again, polarities. While Chiron can be about insecurities and wounds, it's also about the acknowledgement of that to heal that and how that shapes who you become, right? And how that shapes your unique gifts, skills, and talents. Not everyone speaks of Chiron that way, but that's how I feel Chiron is. And then to have his counterpart Chericlo, who's this medicine woman, the medicine woman helps to, they said, exalt the soul to the next level from that pain, from that trauma. That's why they make great counterparts. Anyway, and with her being an Aquarius, it is also about the unique self. With the courageous peony, just emphasizing that. I don't need to repeat this, but this is the overall. And underneath that, we do have the Knight, which is interesting because remember I said Knight of Swords. This is the only thing I would say comes close to a Knight of Swords in this deck, and it's literally the Knight. Be brave and honest. This is compassionate, gentle, not just masculine energy, because it's more than that. It's like this can also be a gatekeeping energy, right? Like you see how like centered and balanced he is. Like he's very much connected to himself. He's even crying. I don't know if you guys can see the tear on his face. He's very connected to his emotional body. He's very connected to self, spirit, faith, all the things, and will do what needs to be done. I'm getting the word monk actually with this. And for some, there can even be this calling to like luminous warrior. That's not for everybody, but that's for some, like spiritual warrior. A lot wants to come through with that. Spiritual warrior, pinnacle of truth. Anybody who resonates as a spiritual warrior, it is almost impossible for you to like not speak truth. It's like, did you hear where that was even like coming out of me? It's almost impossible for people who identify as spiritual warriors, even if you don't know what that is. Like if you resonate with that archetype or that energy, it's almost impossible for you to witness falsity or to live in falsity and to let it continue. Doesn't always make it easy on relationships, but I'm getting a little bit of that for some of you. I feel a beautiful acceptance there with the courageous peony and the Knight of all aspects of self. Oh, and then just, to emphasize, you're not alone. You're not alone. Again, community is coming for people who have been seeking it and who don't feel like they have it. It is coming, okay? Maybe unexpectedly, though. There's, with Uranus being so active, too, on all these moon cycles, because with the new moon cycles, they've been at the degree range where Uranus has been. So every new moon has had this flavor of Uranus activity behind it, which means unexpected events and changes. And not to mention we're in the pre-shadow for the eclipse season as well. So that's the whole thing. All right, pulling more cards. I keep saying I'm going to do that. Oh, let me get a little sip of water. Oh, I love that. My community is the trees. We love the trees. Where would we be without the trees? Nowhere. It's just true. It's just true. Without trees, without water, well, without the elements, right? And like, okay, another tangent. I'm such a nerd. And without earthworms. If we didn't have earthworms, we would have nothing. Like, we'd have no food. We'd have no plants. We'd have no vegetation without earthworms. So thank God for earthworms. Just saying. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and Google earthworms. There's even a whole book on it on Audible. Anyway. All right. More cards. Do we want to go into tarot? I do feel the call to tarot. I do. All right. Ooh, or do we do animals? I love the animals. Not necessary. They said it's not necessary. Okay, we'll just do tarot. Oh, they said do this. Okay. They said do the elements. All right, so we're going to do elements here. It's like, oh yeah, this is a weekly. I could do that. I just got so caught up in the collective energy. Now, because we're doing elements, there are different ways you can look at this. Again, always just go with what resonates, okay? And if it doesn't, leave it for those that it resonates for. But if you wanted to try to distinguish what elements you should watch, or even like when you're watching the elements, like how does that really affect you if you're resonating? From an astrology standpoint, like I would look at it as your houses, is how I'd look at it. So, for example, I talked about this in the Taurus reading, I think, that I posted earlier this morning. So, like, if you're a fire sign, like fire reads should really speak to the core of you, and what your nature really is. And it should also speak to things that could be happening in terms of your creativity, in terms of even your health and vitality, things that you want to do, or even just like all the actions you're trying to take, right? So that goes for all of like water rising, water sign, earth rising, earth sign, right? But if you're a fire sign and you watch like, and you, well, like, okay, fire is not a good example because it's pretty explicit for fire, but okay, let's say you're an earth sign or earth rising, especially earth rising. If you're earth rising and you watch air, you're probably going to see that that affects more of like your finances, or probably speaks more to your financial life, your work life, household life, how you support yourself, how you take care of yourself, okay? Versus just relationships and communication, right? So that's just an example. So that's how I look at it. I would look at it based off of your prominent houses and the elements of your houses. I hope that makes sense. For my astrology newbies, don't worry about it. Just watch what you're guided to watch. So I don't want to overcomplicate this. All right, let's get into the elements. Who are we? Okay, fire wants to go first. Of course you do. Of course you do. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Any messages or insights for my fire signs for this week? Hearing, just do it. Just do it. That feels like a nagging impulse. That feels like something within you is like, do it. I'm laughing. It's kind of funny. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. Ooh. Okay. So we have fire signs. We have Page of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. Just do it. This feels like just doing it also requires you being very honest with yourself about what it is that you're needing to do, and what it is, like the amount of work that it's going to take to invest in something or make something happen. That's what I'm getting with this. Page of Cups is also my card of innocence, and very much it is like from the heart, even from your inner child, your soul, however you want to look at that, just a pure source of what it is you're emotionally wanting and feeling. Let yourself just honor that. Just honor that. Just honor it. Just honor it. It's like almost like don't think about it too much, which you guys don't do anyway, but maybe some of you have strong air placements, and we do have a lot of air energy too. But that's what I'm getting with that. Like, just be honest with yourself, get over it, and just do it. Just follow the heart. Just do it. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do it. It almost has that feeling too of like when you have like something really big you want to accomplish, right? And then when you like try to plan it out, you get caught up on the details, you make it like bigger than you. And then before you know it, you haven't done anything about it, or you haven't made any progress on it. It's like just start. Like just start and just see what happens. Like it doesn't even have to be right. It doesn't even have to like be perfect. It doesn't even have to like be on track with something, or you know what I mean? Just put energy into it and just see what happens. Like that's how that's coming across to me for you. Anything else for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Hierophant. Feel a lot going on with this Hierophant fire signs. Taurus energy here. It actually landed on the High Priest and the Star Brothers, so that masculine force. The Hierophant is the High Priest to me, so it's interesting it landed on the High Priest for you. Fire signs. Oh, what is going on here? I feel I feel a lot of things. I'm not gonna say it feels dense. I just feel like there's a lot here. Hierophant can be contracts, it can be obligations, duty, it can be belief systems, ethics, spirituality, authority. I'm getting something about authority here. I feel like there's something about you stepping into this, not overthinking it, just follow. Follow what you're feeling. Just do it. Just give it a try. Almost like it's challenging this for you. Like it's challenging your current belief system. Like it's rubbing up against programming is almost how that feels. But I want to say just fall into your own faith, fall into your own intuition. Follow what feels right. Follow what feels right, not what is right, what feels right. Sorry, I'm getting all like irritated with this energy. Yeah, follow what feels right, not what is right. Because I feel like your intuition, your soul, even your team, they're urging you to do that. Oh, damn it. But there's something about this that feels a little rigid. Oh, man. Like by the book. I just heard not for you. Oh. So many things. There's a deck, Wisdom of Oracle deck, and there's a card in there. It's a little fortune cookie, and the card says not for you. They just showed me that. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Sorry guys, hold on. Oh. Wow. Simi got a hard time with this. Wow. Yeah, buy the book, not for you. Buy the book, not for you. That's another card in there too. Buy the book is not for you in this situation. Let's see now, Spirit, why you do me like that? That's because there's a lot of resistance here for whoever's resonating with this. Whatever this is, it really challenges what you're used to doing or what you think has been right, or like certain beliefs, or certain beliefs, certain programs. And it requires you being honest with yourself about it. Woo. Wow. I told you guys, I told you. Oh. Oh. Oh man. I feel like all this energy. Oh, wanting to move. So, I want to get off this energy because I don't want to cough anymore. Buy the book, not for you. Get a different book. Okay? Love the henna. Thank you. All right, let's continue. Ooh, anything else for my fire signs? Oh, just confirming what I already said. Oh, look what landed on the Hierophant. Five of Swords. By the book, not for you. By the book, not for you. If any of you have someone in your life that like puts pressure on you to do things by the book or do things a certain way, or like a certain way that maybe you have just been accustomed to or subjected to, it's time to stand up a little bit. It's time to be like, no, you know what? No. No, I'm gonna honor this. I'm gonna honor this. So yeah, the Five of Swords is really emphasizing it. And then overall, sorry, I didn't mean to like giggle. Empress of Justice. Remember what I was saying, right? It's like this whole like having the exalted masculine meet the exalted feminine. There's something about this that feels old, okay? Where it's not about what we can carry with us if we're living in this way, right? And so the feminine, again, that lioness trying to like come in and do what she wants to do what she's got to do to also hold the harmony, hold the balance. So very beautiful going on there. Very beautiful energy. Very interesting, fire signs. I don't feel like we need to clarify anything. I think actually because of time, I really need to move along. So let's move to, what are we moving to? We're doing water. Okay. Whew. Second therapy session of the day. You guys, time has been weird today. At one point when I was like getting ready for everything, I walked out into my kitchen and my oven light said 1:15, and I was like, when did it turn to 1:15? That's crazy. I like immediately go back to my desk, and then my computer said like 11:30, and I was like, wait. And then I rushed back out, and then that said like 12 something. So I don't know what weird little portal I was walking through earlier today. So that was weird. Water always follow that fire. Well, they are kind of like beautiful energies that work together, even though they're technically not supposed to, but they do. Water. Any messages or insights from my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Water signs. I feel like you're doing pretty well, actually. I feel like you're in like high priestess mode, high priestess mode. Yeah, beautiful. Wheel of Fortune. Things are really turning around for you, water signs. If any of you have really been struggling, change is here. And water signs, I think you're happy for it, actually. I think you've been anticipating it, and I think you're really ready for it. Yeah, you've been anticipating it, and you're ready for it. I feel your balance. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh my. Page of Cups and the Hanged Man. This is what's changing for you. Something's been at a pause and you haven't been, it's felt out of your control. It's felt out of your control. Some of you could have been going through a little bit of like a needing to get back in the heart. That's for some of you, and if that's you and how that applies. But with the Hangman being there, I keep feeling like something hung you up. Something hung you up, and it's like you've just been kind of sitting here, which is a beautiful place to sit. Again, card of innocence, sitting in a very, very pure place within yourself. but it feels external to me. And you're like, I'll just sit here with my heart, with my cup, with my truth, with my innocent, pure state. I will just sit in it, I guess. It's kind of funny. But the wheel is here. The wheel is here. And you're not going to be hung up for much longer. Again, some of you could have been needing to get into the heart. But even then, I feel like something puts you in hangman mode. Most of the time, I feel like that's a voluntary choice that we hang ourselves up. But I don't feel that with you. It feels external. Yeah, external force, pressure. Any messages or insights for water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh! Okay. Some of y'all did not deal too well in the hangman energy. 9 of Swords on the hangman. That's worry. That's worry. That's insomnia. Restless nights, anxiety. Yeah, that 9 of Swords tells me that you were just getting very restless in this state of like, how long is it going to be like this? How long am I going to have to sit like this? How long am I going to have to feel this? Just came up. How long am I going to have to just feel this? I feel frustration, even though like 9 of Swords is worry and anxiety, and like Page of Cups is emotional. Even the hangman's kind of emotional. Sure, you could have had emotional moments, but I feel frustration more than anything. With you, I feel frustration more than anything. But again, this is changing. This is changing. You could have been having, like, when you do sleep, because we've established most of us here have not been sleeping. When you have slept, you could have been having really bizarre dream time, like dream time that feels like very direct messages, but also doesn't totally make sense. Some of you have been having telepathy with people at night, and it's felt intrusive, is also what I'm getting. It feels like you've been very sensitive. It feels like you've been very, very sensitive, water signs. Like more so than usual, but we did just have a new moon Pisces, so, you know. But you've also just been kind of made to sit in it. You've been made to sit in it. Yeah, I just feel your frustration with that. Let's get more cards. Okay. So on the Page of Cups, we have 10 of Wands on the Ace of Pentacles on the Page of Cups. This is something you have been emotionally sitting with. You've been waiting for the change. You've been waiting for it. And I kind of felt that already, that you were anticipating it. But the Ace of Pentacles is not just every ace has its own unique thing. The Ace of Pentacles for me in the last few months has become the card of the opportunity of higher timeline, other reality, because we cross the threshold. So out of all the aces, when you get the Ace of Pentacles, there's this window of opportunity to move into an exalted timeline or reality. But 10 of Wands, you've been so ready. You've been so ready. And I just keep getting, you've been emotionally sitting with it, and you're just like, when? That's so water sign. I know this is coming. I know this will change. I don't want to be in this space anymore because I know what's coming. It's like, it almost feels like, like the burden of being intuitive, right? Like, things are shifting and happening, and you're like, okay, I'm already picking up on it. So can we be there now? Like, it's got a little bit of flavor there. Again, I keep getting that there's this feeling of there's an external delay, or like something outside of you has been putting pressure on you and almost slowing you down. Any other messages or insights for water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Ooh, Cancer. I feel like your heart's being tickled. Cancer's excited about something. I can feel it. My Cancer's got some fiery, dynamic energy going on. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh my God. Another 9. So on the 9 of Swords, we have the 9 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. Again, this like, this feeling of, when can I get out of this? Like, when can I be on the other side of what I know is coming, what I know is for me, Like, yeah. I don't want to say you've been feeling plagued, but that's kind of how this feels. I know how dramatic that sounds. Again, take it as it resonates. But the Nine of Pentacles, that's you and your own personal standing and foundation. That's just you and who you are in your container. But look what's surrounding it. Seven of Cups and the Nine of Swords. Again, this is where you've been and what you're coming out of from the Hanged Man mode. I feel like water signs, again, you've been sensitive, so you've been kind of bombarded by other energies, cloudy energies, disruptive energies, and some of you that those are telepathic. Some of you it's just dream time. Yeah. So I talked about this with a friend that like there's been this swirl of fast moving energy. Water signs, you've been feeling the swirl of all that shifting and happening. Some of you it has almost been adding confusion to like how to navigate, but that's the thing. It's not like you needed to navigate, you needed to just sit in it with the Hangman. You needed to just sit in it. For some of you, it was also to get you to see something about yourself, maybe do a little bit of shadow work, but for the most part, you've been in it, feeling it, being sensitive, and just waiting for what you know is coming. Overall, we have the Nine of Wands, Three of Cups. Ooh, interesting. King of Swords. Ooh, Four of Swords, Ace of Cups. Queen of Cups. I'm going to get into it, I promise. The Emperor. I feel like there's a lot there. Water signs, let's start here. I know I thought there was another card there for a second. Water signs, your overall energy, we have the Nine of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the King of Swords. Nine of Wands can be a little bit of a guarded energy. Sometimes it's also just about the amount of energy you're willing to work and put into something. But with the Ten of Wands being around the Ace of Pentacles, around you just like knowing what you want, knowing what's coming, I feel like it's actually more this feeling of like being guarded a little bit, on edge, on defense a little bit. And then Three of Cups and the King of Swords. I feel like there are certain individuals or experiences that have been happening around you that I feel like you've been trying to push away. This is the third 9, by the way. 999 coming up for you, water signs. But that's what I'm feeling here. Almost like a sense of mistrust of certain experiences and people around you. But again, you've been sensitive. So that also makes sense that you've been like, no. Because too damn sensitive, can't deal. So I get that too. But what's interesting is underneath the King of Swords, we have the Four of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Emperor. So a lot of reflection going on here, water signs. And the Four of Swords indicates that you have been kind of separated or kind of isolated from certain people. Could even be from a specific person. Like that King of Swords and Emperor can represent a person or people in your life. Doesn't have to. I'm speaking at this through the lens of this is all your own energy, but keep in mind that that is there, okay? But you've clearly been separating yourself from the herd, I'll say, from the herd or a person. And just really reflecting on yourself, reflecting on what you know is coming. And again, a lot of how do I navigate? How do I navigate? How do I navigate? How do I navigate? The Emperor, I feel like, is also representing your own ability to be in your own sense of empowerment. Underneath that, we do have the Eight of... the Eight of Swords and the Devil. Underneath that. Water signs. If there has been shadow work coming up for you in this, it's felt a little bit like you've been needing to confront your own mini, I'm going to say mini, like M-I-N-I, not M-A-N-Y, M-I-N-I, like mini demons. But I also feel like some of you have been keeping your distance from people or a certain person because you're also so sensitive and telepathic that even like the Eight of Swords and Devil energy is the intrusion of other people's energy too. So I'm also feeling that. It just feels like you've been in a swirl of intrusive, disruptive energies. And you've been kind of like, okay, I'll sit here. I'll continue to sit here. But I want what I know is coming. I don't want to sit here, but I'll sit here. Again, kind of interesting. Yeah. Very funky energies, water signs. Very, very funky. No wonder you're coming out of this feeling so balanced, because that's what I was feeling with you initially when we pulled the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, look at what you've been getting away from. This is what you've been getting away from. Again, if shadow work's been coming up for you, it could have been in multiple aspects, like indulgences, codependencies, addictions, attachments, other people, um, obligations that are suffocating to who you really are and you really wanting what you really need for yourself to be the Nine of Pentacles. I'm also getting compromising your independence and freedom. Anything that's been doing that, you've been confronted with to deal with and get away from. You've been doing a lot of contemplating. Well, you've had no choice because you've had to sit. You've had no choice but to contemplate because you've had to sit. Wow. Very interesting, water signs. So my point is, no matter where you're finding yourself in this, water signs, the Wheel of Fortune is here. You're almost at the end of the tunnel if you're not there already, out of this weird vortex of intruding, sensitive energies and shadow work for some. You're almost there. You're almost there. You're almost there. And for those where other people are a factor here, like again, that telepathic intrusion, or just feeling like, I don't know if I can trust those people right now, that'll be very clear, and there will be a severing if it's needed. And I don't think you're going to have to work that hard at it. Okay. All right. Earth and air. Really? Oh, we're doing air signs. Okay. I expected earth, but we can do air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's going on for air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. Wow, that came out fast, huh, Libra? This is the Libra court card, Queen of Swords. She is my minor to the major High Priestess because she is water and air, and she is the epitome of truth, which the High Priestess is as well. But here is the Queen of Swords coming out. It's funny because right before it came out, I was getting very strong Venus energy, and we do have Venus here as Libra. It does feel a little guarded. Queen of Swords is not always cold, okay? She's just discerning. She's just very matter of fact. Like, it just is what it is. I feel like you're a little guarded too, kind of like how water signs is a little guarded. And they are your neighbor, so what are you guarded against? It feels a little bit like that lioness energy I was getting of like holding the gates, like gatekeeping a little bit, like you're thank you. You're gatekeeping your peace, air signs. You're gatekeeping your peace. Not a bad thing. Any other messages or insights for my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh my. Oh my. Queen of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Air signs, you know what you want, and you're going to make sure you get it. I love it. This is a good look on you. You know what you want, and you're going to make damn well sure, that you're going to get it. You're going to gatekeep it. You're going to cultivate it. You're going to look out for it. Any other messages or insights for my air signs? If you've had any like fogginess or confusion on what you want, you're not going to be confused anymore because you were very clear here. Interesting. As I say that, we get the Two of Swords, Moon and Libra energy. This card's going to come out a lot, like up until we pass the Libra eclipse, because it's literally Moon and Libra. The Two of Swords for me is usually a card of holding two conflicting truths. They're both true, but which one do you want to ascribe to? Which one do you want to choose? It doesn't make any of them not valid, but holding two conflicting truths can keep us, in a place we don't necessarily want to be. I think that's where you've been. And I think you're moving into this place where you're very sure, where you are owning one of the two swords, right? When will this Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands come to pass? Soon. Soon. This feels very soon for those who are not there yet. But while you're in the Two of Swords, again, before you get to the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Wands, while you have been here, there's something. What is that? Which one matters most to you? Which one matters most to you? I think these two conflicting truths, Libra, they both mean something to you. They both are part of you. You believe in both of them, literally. But you do have to make a choice. They're both going to lead you somewhere. They're both part of creating your reality. Which one do you want more? Which one is more fulfilling, is how that's coming to me. Which one will have you feeling the most like yourself? Any other messages or insights from my air signs? Man, that 10 of Wands is coming up for everybody. Knight of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands on that 2 of Swords. I like the Knight of Pentacles is here. That is Virgo energy. But the Knight of Pentacles is the court card of integrity, of accountability, of the right-hand man, of predictability, showing up, you know, being diligent, all of that. Which is also a big energy we have right now that I've already mentioned. But then that 10 of Wands... I mean, you guys know 10 of Wands. It's burden. It's weighing down. It's indicating that we're coming to a close on something. It also indicates a lot of work and effort is being exercised. Air signs, I was about to say. Air signs, your current obligations, the things you have been showing up for, they're weighing on you. That's what I'm getting with that. They're weighing on you because I feel like you're in your current obligations, but a part of you, that other sword, that second of sword is like, can we do something else now? Can we move on from this? The 10 to the 1, new cycles, air signs. Yeah, I hate to call spade a spade, but I kind of don't hate it. I kind of love it. It's time for a big change, air signs. What you've invested yourself in, what you have shown up for, it's not sustainable anymore. It's not as fulfilling anymore. And it's not allowing you to be fully you. Has it been great? Sure. Has it served a purpose? Sure. But that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like you're holding a sword of what you've known, what you've been, and the other sword is a piece of you being like, we need to shift now. We need to shift now. That's tough. All right. Anything else from my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I think you've been trying to hold both swords for a while. Like, I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep at it. And then how can I encourage that other part of me? How can I encourage that Ace of Wands? But you can't hold both. You can't hold both and have movement. I'll say it that way. You can't hold both and have movement. And if there's anything the universe wants is movement. Seven of Pentacles is your overall evaluating what you got and what you're going to do with it. Knight of Wands, the passion and drive and motivation to do something, right? That Ace of Wands is begging for it. Everyone's got the Hangman. And then we have the Moon and Hangman, literally Moon Pisces energy of what do I do? What do I do? I can feel this push. I can feel this nag. I can feel it. But what do I do? Underneath the Hangman and the Moon, we have the Nine of Cups. I think it's time to just be honest with yourself, Libra, that you got to drop a sword. And this dropping the sword is either going to be dropping what you've been investing in, even though you know it hasn't been, maybe it has been fulfilling, but maybe not as much as it could be. Or you're going to drop the Ace of Wands to roll with fulfilling the part of you that's been unfulfilled. I mean, I think we all know like the choice that'll be probably in your benefit. Neither is wrong. You can keep doing what you're doing. You can keep being the person you've been. Nothing wrong with that. Or time to move on to the next. Time to elevate. Good luck, air signs. I wish you luck. Again, I think the Libra eclipse, especially for my air signs, because Libra, you're in the mix there too. I think the full moon Libra eclipse will help you with even more clarity if you're not ready to drop a sword. Okay? All right, earth signs. Oh, oops. Can I? Wow, I'm still tired. I was like, why did I write that? Okay. Earth signs. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Any messages or insights for my earth signs for this week? I'm so tired today. I feel you, girl. I feel you. Earth signs. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Are we reaching the mountaintop? They're showing me a mountain. Normally they show me a mountain that's usually about blockages, clearing them or encountering them and figuring out how to navigate them. Also could be a sign of protection. But they're showing me mountains. I really want to say I think you're climbing the mountain. Or you're reaching the top of the mountain is what this feels like. But we'll see. Fast. Oh, you are. I love it. Look at you on top of the mountain. Look at you above the other ones. 9 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. Okay. Okay, earth signs. You're on the mountaintop. And you're not moving. You're not budging. I gotta be honest, earth signs, this feels a little bit of like you're literally defending your stance. Like you're literally, like you're literally defending your position. Like you worked really hard to become the 9 of Pentacles, and to do that, you had to climb the mountaintop, and you're like, I'm gonna defend my mountaintop. Get away from my mountaintop. My mountaintop. It's like how that feels. Again, you gotta laugh. You gotta have fun with this stuff. But that's what I'm getting with you. That's what I'm getting with your signs. Don't forget to hit the like button, by the way. It really does help the video to circulate. I appreciate. Yeah, it literally feels like my mountaintop. Get away. Mine. Interesting. We have Hermit, which the Hermit does go to the mountaintop to sit with spirit, commune with spirit, connect with spirit, or the sage does. I shouldn't say the Hermit. The Hermit's more cave-like. But the Hermit is a sage. And the Hermit always follows the star. Truth and enlightenment, blessings, hope, wish fulfillment, that sort of deal. But there is a sense of communing at the mountaintop. So, earth signs, it's interesting how the card's been coming out, because I feel like we start at like present and then we work backwards, is how the energy seems to be coming out for everybody today. So you're going to defend your mountaintop. But before you do that, you're sitting at the mountaintop. Again, I know Hermit is cave, but I feel like you're actually on the mountaintop. I'm being reminded of the Sacred Mountain card in the Native Spirit deck. Nesting. Some of you have created a little bit of a nest for yourself, or maybe just created the space in order for you to do this, for you to really get into a position. This is not like position, holding your stance. Oh, interesting verbiage. To get yourself in the position to really connect with your truth, really connect with self. Feels a little isolating, but it's not a bad thing. And that will allow you to defend and hold what you have in your possession. This is interesting. So what's prompted you to climb to the mountaintop, metaphorically speaking, symbolically speaking, or to take up space so that you can be in your own space to get to this truth? Some of you could have been prompted by it, by a tower moment or a sense of change, which again, very collective. But I feel like you were prompted to go into hermit mode, like to find a solution, to find an answer for yourself. I also feel like you had a lot of opinions around you, or a lot of like chit chatter talking, and you almost had to block it out or get away from it so you could actually hear yourself. That's kind of what I'm getting. And then this is you being able to defend your stance, to defend and stand up for what it is that you have, and maybe for some of you, what you've built. Very interesting, Earth signs. Some of you, this could even be like standing up for a family member, protecting a family member, because Nine of Pentacles is very solo and individual. Yeah, oh, interesting. Yeah, some of you, this is actually about helping someone that you're close with and like really needing to come to a really creative solution for that. Some of you were doing a lot of research to figure out how to do that. Any other messages or insights from my Earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. Oh, man. No. I just got really nasally. I mean, a cough is probably coming. Hermit and the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles can be seeding new plans and actions. It's also very collaborative, working together, working for other people, with other people. Again, some of you have been, how do I help this individual that I care about? Even, how do I help myself? How do I plant new seeds or do something new to build and protect myself, my assets, my standing, my foundation? So you've been very in the earthly plane, Earth signs, or focused on the earthly plane. Any other messages or insights from my Earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Ooh, yeah, Five of Pentacles. Hermit, Three of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. There's a Two of Pentacles there. So again, trying to protect yourself from loss is what that feels like to me. How do I protect myself from loss? How do I protect myself from falling off the mountaintop or being thrown off the mountaintop? How do I protect my loved ones or my loved one from this situation they're finding themselves in that threatens their security? This is like very specific, Earth signs. This is very, very specific, however you want to look at it. There's also an energy of repair as well. Some of you could have already been experiencing some kind of dismantling of some kind or some sort of turmoil, and you're like, how do I repair the turmoil here? Which could even be a friendship. Some of you, this could be health too, with all these, with Five of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. And even the Seven of Wands. Some of you guys, this could be health related. Any other messages or insights for my Earth signs? Any other messages or insights for my Earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. There's Libra again. Queen of Swords coming out on the Hermit. So again, just seeking out answers and truth for yourself on how to help this person, help yourself, repair what needs repairing, recover what's been lost, or even protect yourself or someone from loss or calamity is the word that wants to come through. It's very much like, I want the right solution and I need to take action and I need to protect the mountaintop. Overall, we have the King of Wands, just kind of interesting, with the Four of Cups, ooh, and the Ten of Wands. That feels like ignoring a problem, but I don't see, I mean, clearly you're taking action. You're not ignoring a problem. Some of you might have been in denial for a little bit, but I feel like this is you like saying, okay, this can't continue. Something bad is going to happen. And action does need to be taken, but I need to sit and feel out what that is. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. Like, this can't continue. Some kind of action needs to take place. Some kind of, you guys understand what I'm saying? This needs to be rectified before something gets really bad. Again, some of you, this is straight up health. Some of you, it's money. Some of you, it's standing up for a loved one who's in trouble. There's something else trying to come through here. Give me a second. I want to say be cautious not to make choices from fear. And that might also be why you need to take some space to like get away from that energy. Because maybe other people around you are kind of like making you scared or maybe instilling fear in you. Again, you could be doing that to yourself. But some of you, I think, actually need to check that you're not falling into fear and you're just like being practical. which is something else about this week, like balancing the practical and the ideal of Pisces. Yeah, be confident like the King of Wands. Be wise and decisive like the Queen of Swords. Just don't fall prey to fear. Yeah, very interesting reading to end on, Earth signs. Okay, we are concluded at almost 2 hours. Can't believe how long this video was. I really didn't mean for it to be. I just, got to talking. But I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope you guys have, well, even just the astrology and channelings, this sit down. I hope you enjoyed the weekly sit down. Maybe I'll call it weekly sit down. It hurts when you cough. It does. Like, I know it sounds awful. I know it's very like alarming. I get it. It's been a lifelong thing. So I know. So thank you for that support. But I'm gonna go. But again, if you want to check out the New Moon Pisces live, it's on Patreon. It's also on Vimeo. Links are below. If you didn't catch announcements in the beginning, which I'm sure you did, I'm going to be doing talking circles. I'll be doing that through Patreon and potentially through my website. Just give me a couple days. I want to give me 3 days. They said 3. Give me 3 days to get all of that like set up. Because like to me, it's just important to like start doing that. I will be doing them in person at some point, but not at least for like a month or 6 weeks or so. So again, if you want to make sure like you get the announcements, subscribe to the site, make sure notifications are on YouTube. I'll also be posting about this on social media, and I plan on doing more social media posts. I've set the intention. We'll see how that comes through. Calendars, the moon calendar and the astrology calendar for 2024. Still links are below for that if you have one or the other or you want both. We do have a bundle going on too. Anything else? I don't think so. I think that's it. I need to see this Pisces new moon going after goodbye. Well, enjoy. I hope you enjoy. It's a long one because oh, by the way, activation warning for that new moon Pisces live. If you're not ready to be hit with some serious crown energy, just keep that in mind. It was very, very activating. It was so activating we actually had to stop and like clear the energy. But it was fun. It was a really good hangout. Great. Now I need to record my readings. LOL. Have a great rest of your day. That was an intense live. Wow. Yeah, it was. I was like, yeah, it was. It was so intense. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. I love you. Take care. I'm actually gonna do signs today as well, along with all the website stuff. So I got a busy day ahead of me, but I love you. Take care. Have a great week. And thanks for joining me today. Namaste.